G'day, everybody. G'day again. Welcome to Distant Date Night. I might just sit here for a few seconds, like dancing, just waiting for people to come and find this stream after setting the other up so nicely. and and uh, and I'll just wait a few seconds to let you come in. I'll pull faces out. I'd like to welcome you to Distant Date Night in the morning for breakfast time. All of the mums and who are making cornflakes for their children, welcome. And I'd like to welcome all the way from Nova Scotia, Canada. Oops. Oh, Terra Spencer.
Hello.
Hello.
So funny. You just mentioned all the mums making breakfast, and right at that moment, my mom called. I see on my phone, so she'll have to wait a moment.
Mum,
Thank you so much.
pour a glass of wine.
You are a brave lady to take on this endeavor at 8 a.m. in the morning when you have kids and business to tend to, Melanie. You're a brave soul.
I made that that whisper of a mistake where I'd said, okay, eight's good, and I forgot that the bus comes at 8:05, and I forgot about, like, the child who doesn't want to get out of the car, like the car. She said, I don't want to do my hair, give me some. I want some extra money for food. And I'm like, please.
Yeah, they know when you're vulnerable, those kids. Oh, this is great. So, have you had your own breakfast?
Oh, there's Jerry. No.
Yeah.
Well, I did. I've got a cough. That's something. Jerry said, us dads are making a Vegemite sandwich. Good work. And making the school lunches. Dreaming Deacon says, what's for breakfast this morning? Well,
Yeah.
It will be cornflakes after the show.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm allowed to give this away, but Melanie has contended with kids needing to make it to the bus and a sudden power outage in the last 15 minutes. Honestly, I would have expected if anyone's power was going to go out, it would be here in Nova Scotia because we've just had a big dump of snow all day. But yeah,
how cool.
I was surprised to see that on your end, Melanie. You're a hardy woman.
Well, I'm on solar power, so like the whole house is off grid, and so if you have a big rainy day, there's not a lot of storage in the batteries, and it's looking nice and rainy out there, so it kind of comes on and off. But I did charge my computer up. If Dad's watching and going cook at me, I did charge it up. I charged my phone up. Everything's okay.
Great.
We can still go down and we can still come live to Canada.
Excellent. Wow. Amazing. Technology is incredible when it works. Yeah, it's great.
I'm gonna play. I thought I'd just play, like, in dedication to my beautiful daughter who got angry with me for the dinner I cooked her last night, and for the breakfast I tried to offer her just then. I will play the love song that I learnt for her when she was born.
Wonderful.
I'll see you in a second. I'll just play this and warm everybody up, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
I'll do this. Okay. All right. Breathe. I was above love before, but now I love because you're oh so nice. Awake or sleeping, it seems that you were creeping in my dreams, and it's so nice when you are near me. Oh my dear me, how I fly to paradise. I was above love before, but now I love because you're was above love before, but now I love love because you're oh so nice. Awake or sleeping, it seems that you are creeping in my dreams, and it's so nice when you are near me. Oh my dear, dear me, how I fly to paradise. I was above love before, but now I love love because you're oh so nice. Because you're oh so nice. Because you're oh. Oh, where are you? There you are.
Oh, that's marvelous. Is that?
Thank you.
Yeah, where does that song come from?
That's so when I had Gypsy, I was driving home for the hospital, and 4 days after having her, and I was on my way to a gig, because that's what you do with a brand new baby. And on the radio came on Ella Fitzgerald singing that song, and I was like,
Yeah.
I love her.
Oh, that's
I was like
beautiful.
so in love. It blew my mind. I couldn't, and it's obviously like Ella does it different in a different way.
Yeah.
It's more like a musical, like in a show style.
Right.
Is it Gershwin? No, maybe Gershwin's song. Anyway,
Oh,
so
sure. Okay.
I sort of adopted it for so long now that I've just tucked it into my skin
Yeah.
as a special thing.
Oh, yeah. It just sounds, the way you sing it, it's just what you'd sing to a little baby in your arms. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And like for a love or for it works for all different types of people, doesn't it? I'm changing my
Yeah.
disco lights so they're not so flashy. Here we go. That's better.
It's a lot for 8 a.m.
Yeah. Sing us a song.
Sure. Well, in classic Terra Spencer fashion, I had, put together a little list and made a plan. And then even just seeing you
Wow.
for a few minutes on screen and talking to you and hearing about your babies and whatnot, my head went to a million different places. So I settled on a song that is about a very memorable Christmas present. Because we're in Christmas mode here in Nova Scotia, and with this snowfall, it just is the icing on the cake, So I was thinking about Christmas presents that I have received in the past, and this is a controversial Christmas gift that I got. So back when my husband and I got together, we were very young and had made some poor choices and had very little money, and then decided to have a baby just to add to the fun. And what I wanted for Christmas one year was a new pair of tights, like stockings, to wear with a dress. And my dear, wonderful husband had gone to a special shop in Halifax in the city and bought this pair of stockings that were like $30. Like that's not what I needed. I just was looking for pantyhose essentially. And he bought like the most luxurious pair of tights. And it was so sweet, but at the time, we were really living on a bit of a shoestring. And I was cross about it. I was like, that was so silly, so extravagant. And it was so, I just could tell his face just fell, and I felt so badly. But that's become a point of reference for us, because guess what? It's like 2 decades later and I still have them. They don't have a hole. They don't have a snag in them. They were so worth it.
Yeah,
So
it would have been like, it would have felt really nice, like imagine the slippery and beautiful. So yeah.
well, to be fair, again, maybe you haven't seen too much of my fashion sense, but nothing's too subtle with me, Mel. And they're like almost like candy cane stripes, like brown, orange, green, blue.
Oh man, how good is that?
Pretty
How
bad.
good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
I
That's,
should have worn them tonight.
I
But
can see
yeah,
why
you
he
see
got him.
it?
Awesome.
They don't have a hole, and that's really hard to find a pair of stockings that don't run or fray. Anyway, I've talked way too much, but it does make a nod to these stockings in this song. That is about my wonderful years with my husband, his name Andrew. So this is called 20 Years In. We were too afraid to touch. I knew I loved you too much to settle for the distance of a friend. So we swam in student loans and bought sandwiches and cell phones. We didn't have a dime, but we still had time to spend. Thought that we knew everything, jumped the gun with 2 gold rings and got married in the blazing August heat. Yeah, we opened all the gifts we got in the Empire Theater parking lot. Yeah, we tied the knot and we never got cold feet. There isn't one thing I would alter. I know you'll stand by me through thick and thin. When we walk together, our steps will never falter. I don't know where you stop and I begin. 20 years in. Remember when you bought me that pair of fancy stockings one Christmas when the money was running tight? Yeah, I was mad for what you spent. I overlooked your good intent, but we still paid the rent and they still fit me just right. Oh, we lived in dingy basements, so happy to have our own place. Went to school and brought 2 babies into the world. And even after all these years, changed plans and changed careers, I only really want to be your girl. There isn't one thing I would alter. I know you'll stand by me through thick and thin. When we walk together, our steps will never falter. I don't know where you stop and I begin. 20 years in. Now our little girl is grown and has a sweetheart of her own. And when they meet for tea, he brings her flowers. And I see myself in her and just how young we were. And I hope she knows a love as sweet as ours. There isn't one thing I would alter. I know you'll stand by me through thick and thin. When we walk together, our steps will never falter. I don't know where you stop and I begin. 20 years in. 20 years in. 20 years in. 20 years in. nice things. Folks are saying here. Oh, I think this might be your parents, is it, Melanie? Asking what's a typical breakfast in Nova Scotia. Are these your folks?
Yes, there's mum and dad tuned in there.
A typical breakfast.
Beautiful song, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Oh gosh, you'd have to ask a typical person, I guess. I mean, I should list off all the things that are sort of notorious Nova Scotian foods. We're famous for seafood, obviously, because we're very nearly an island on the Atlantic Ocean. But I don't eat seafood. I'm always reluctant to say that. I'm afraid I'll get kicked out of Nova Scotia. Blueberries, pancakes with blueberries and maple syrup. That's a hearty breakfast here in Nova Scotia. But if I'm being truthful, very often it's maybe yogurt with a dash of granola or a piece of dry toast as we're running out the door. Yeah. Christmas breakfast, we have
Tim's
cinnamon
donuts.
buns. Tim's donuts. Oh, yeah, they are ubiquitous, the Tim's donuts. Club sandwiches. I do love a club sandwich, Jerry. That's, I think, the test of a restaurant. If you can make a good club sandwich, that's a stamp of approval for a restaurant. So
Carmen wrote something lovely there. Oh yeah, she's flooded in. Oh yeah, because the riverbanks are broken. So it's been raining. Like I said, it's been raining. So we just drove past the creek and it's like, whoa, fully swollen.
oh
So
gosh.
enjoy your musical day there, Carmen. That sounds fun.
Oh
We
wow.
live somewhere where we know that it floods. It's okay. We know that it floods, and so we're ready for it in a sense.
Okay. Well, we'll play a song for that then. There's a song for that occasion.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I was thinking something to go with your 20 years in, and I thought of what song did I write 20 years ago, and I sometimes think it's a little bit daggy, but just thinking about myself as a 20-something-year-old and the song I wrote back then, and it was like on my first record, so I think I might play I Just Want Some Love, which is just, to write alongside of you there.
Yeah.
So it's different to how I write now, but it doesn't matter. It's like just, it's kind of, I think of it as a bit cutesy now, but back then I thought it was like massive.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, have you been writing songs most of your life then, Melanie?
Yeah. Oh, well, I kind of wrote one when I was, in love with a guitar player when I was like in year 10. So what's that, like 15 years old or whatever. And then I didn't really, that happens. Then didn't really write again till I entered a competition when I was like 20, and you had to enter 2 songs, and I only had 1 song, so I had to write another one.
That's great.
But
That's
obviously
nasty.
I got stuck into it. Obviously, that's what happens. Hey, it found me.
Yeah.
Oh, Terra might need a. Jerry says you might need a translation for daggy.
Yeah.
Oh, a bit daggy. So a bit like dorky, I suppose. Is dorky right? Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Uncool.
Uncool. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. All right.
Daggy.
I'm gonna daggy.
Make a note of
Thanks,
that
Jerry. Tony says, "Good morning, Sydney, New South Wales."
hello.
In the house.
Hey, Tony. How are you doing? I hope you're snuggled in with a wee one.
Yeah, everyone tell us what you're having for breakfast or what you're having for tea, just because it's fun, and write it in the comments, and tell us where you are. That's fun too. I like when people tell us where they are. And I'll play this song. It's got a do bit. So if you're at home, or you can just sing along in a bit of doing. All right. See you in a second.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Do that. All right. Got these necklaces on. I was trying to be fancy with necklaces, but they keep banging into the guitar. dress for work. I had my suit and skirt, brush my teeth, take the bus across the Harbour Bridge, down George Street on the L19. In the elevator, they don't say hello. People I don't know stop and stare. I go to work and then go home again. It's the same routine, I try not to care. I just want some love. Do-do-do-do. I just want some love. Do-do-do-do. I just want some love. Some love. Do-do-do-do. I don't know if tomorrow will be fine, or if I'll be crying over something new. Maybe someday someone will marry me, have family. What a foolish dream. I just want some love. Do-do-do-do-do. I just want some love. Do-do-do-do-do. I just want some love. Some love. Ready for singing along? One more time in Japanese.
Oh, I love it. So bouncy.
Yeah. So it was just like pure bouncy. So I used to play at this venue in Sydney called the Excelsior, and it was like a songwriters' night. And at first it was really quiet, and did it for 5 years. And by the time we finished, after 5 years, it was like fully pumping every Sunday. So when like you're just like in the pub, there's a whole bunch of songwriters and artists and people drawing people and people trying to pick people up, and it was like so alive that you could just smash that out, and the whole pub would be like do-do-do-do-do. It was so fun.
That's so great.
So it's kind of different to being on your own in a lounge room, but it's the same. It's the vibe.
Yeah, it is. It has that great kind of like 1960s kind of feel to it. I love it. It's so good.
The song, when I went to record the record, my reference point was the song "Take a Look at My Girlfriend." Dun, dun,
Supertramp.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so my reference was Supertramp. Yes,
Breakfast in America. How fitting.
And so I was with that, and that was my thing, and then the guy I recorded with was a fella called Garth Porter. So he was like all 60 in his head, and I'm all like 80s in my head, and it's so fun that like the way that we squish things together is super fun because those references, reappeared. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's brilliant. Supertramp was a big deal for me growing up
yeah.
because a lot of what I listened to back then were the records that my aunt had left behind at my grandparents' house.
Hmm.
And I remember Supertramp in particular, like Breakfast in America was just top notch. But my best friend and I had this bizarre thing. I don't know. You came up with weird things when you were a kid before the internet, I think. And we pretended we were training for the Olympics and we would put on a Supertramp record. And all we were doing is bouncing rubber ball back and forth. But we had to bounce like as many times as we could without stopping. That was our like Olympic training to Supertramp. Yeah, we didn't quite achieve our goal. Rubber ball bouncing hasn't become an Olympic sport yet, but if it did, our training would have paid off big time.
Like, what would happen if you'd had like if you'd got up there to do to do the game, and suddenly they put on like, I don't know, Pavarotti or something? Would have just
Oh, we'd be
like,
thrown
no,
completely. Yeah, yeah, like
super
Kenny
tramp.
G or something would just the ball would go flying off. Yeah. So strange, those
Oh,
things you did.
yeah.
Yeah, love it.
Who's
Oh,
Jerry says it came out when you were in high school.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're a
Who's
good vintage, Jerry. You had good tunes in high school then.
Carmen joined in there, but she's having muesli with
Mm,
yogurt and banana. That's nice. Yum.
perfect. Yeah, delish. Yeah.
What do you feel like singing for us?
Well, you mentioned, and Carmen mentioned the rising river, the river
Hmm.
rising, and so we'll touch upon that and this beautiful snowfall that we have here in Nova Scotia today. Because the first thing we did, what we were doing at 8 a.m. is shoveling out the driveway because my daughter had an exam she had to make it to. So it was a family effort. Everyone pitched in with shovels to clear the snow out. So I'll play you a song that is about both rain and snow
Oh,
all at once.
beautiful.
Well, I've done the math, and the easiest path is the path of least resistance. But the longer snow sits, the heavier it gets, and it can melt a good man's persistence. You see, the driveway's blocked, and I'm on the clock, but I have to save my strength. I know the walkway's wide, but it's sunny outside, and I'm more concerned with the length. You know I gotta go now, but I don't hear the snow plow. I know you dread this every year, but we'll all feel better when the driveway's clear. There's no need to complain now, 'cause the end of my nagging's at the end of the lane. And baby, I know you hate shoveling snow, but it's better than shoveling rain. You've already shoveled twice, there's a layer of ice, not to sprinkle your wounds with salt. But if I slip and fall and make an ambulance call, I'll have to say it's all your fault. You should feel real proud of all the snow you plowed. You didn't even have a heart attack. Come and sit by the fire, and if your arms aren't tired, I might even let you rub my back. I haven't checked the forecast, but I think I heard the plow pass. In a little while, maybe you won't mind breaking down the banks that it leaves behind. You can whine and complain now, but the end of my nagging's at the end of the lane. And baby, I know you hate shoveling snow, but it's better than shoveling rain. I haven't checked the forecast, but I think I heard the plow pass. In a little while, maybe you won't mind breaking down the banks that it leaves behind. You can whine and complain now, but the end of my nagging's at the end of the lane. And baby, I know you hate shoveling snow, but it's better than shoveling rain. Baby, I know you hate shoveling snow, but it's better than shoveling rain.
And he's better than shoveling rain.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's awesome. Yeah, go on.
No,
That's like something I tell my girls. Like, girls, do it now. Otherwise, you're going to have to, like, it's great. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. No, in the house we lived in prior to this one, it was a house that had been built onto. Oh, is that the rooster? Do you have a rooster there, Mel?
Yeah, he's being noisy.
It's wonderful. We had a rooster in the house that we lived prior to this one. At one point, a rooster just started coming to visit, and we had no idea where it was coming from because none of our neighbors adjacent had hens or chickens or anything. But he would just show up, and we'd put a little bit of feed in a Frisbee, and his name was Jake. And he came for a couple of weeks' time and then didn't come anymore. So we had like a pet rooster for about 2 weeks' time. But at that house, too, it was like a sprawling kind of house that had been added onto over the years, and water would come in one side of the basement and just flow right out the other side. We did our fair bit of shoveling rain in the big thaw when all the snow would melt in the springtime. Yeah, we'd have just a gush of a river through the basement.
Goodness gracious! Like we don't really have basements here. I don't think. I think maybe a few rare places in Sydney, maybe just as a remnant, but it's not. It's definitely not a thing. And so in our dreams, it's a nice idea, but actually, the water in basement is not a fun idea.
No. Speaking as someone who's in a basement right now.
Yeah. I was looking how cute your room is. I like your blankets on the walls and all the bright colors. It looks good.
Well, this blanket fort has been standing since the beginning of the pandemic, when I thought it would just be fun to tuck away in the corner because everyone was at home all of a sudden in close quarters, and it was hard to find a quiet space to do anything. So I went to the farthest part of our house and built this blanket fort, and now it's been standing for almost 2 years, I guess. I think I'll just keep it. Yeah.
Yesterday I was thinking, like, I was, kind of, I mean, I don't know what it's like there, but like just the whole gigs being on and off and everything. And I hate to keep saying the same thing over and over again, but just like the stress and the way that I've reacted to it, etc., etc. I thought I've done it pretty okay, but yesterday I went outside and it's a big mess outside, and this, and I went, you know what? It's been really hard. It's okay. Everything's okay. It's really hard, and it doesn't matter. Like the way that you would have done things 2 years ago, just normal day-to-day living things, is being completely smashed. Even if you think like all the homeschooling and stuff, and just I don't know, mental stuff. It's so different, and like this kind of pushed through it, but it does mean that. I know in my house it's a bit messy, which seems so strange considering we have been at home more, but there's no time to fix it.
Oh my gracious. I quite understand there. Yeah. We had visitors for the first time in forever. Some of my in-law, my brother-in-law and his wife came, and his wife had never been to our house before. And I was away at the time, and it just, it's different when you get used to your house and the way it is, but then when somebody else drops by, you see it with completely different eyes, and there's that panic. Like there's no, like we've all been home. These things, why aren't these things done already? But yeah, it has been a really, truly weird time. It's not like we've just all been on vacation in a sense. It has been bizarre. And Yeah, I do. In hindsight, I now think, well, this was the time that I could have done some of those things that I've put off for a long
Yeah,
stretch.
yeah.
But yeah,
And
it's
then like,
okay.
but we had our like our it was like dealing with mental stuff at the same time. So like,
Yeah,
I think that's the thing is like you mightn't have like cleaned the this and that, but you were just trying to clean your brain or tidy your brain up a little and just trying to feel all
yeah,
right most of the time.
yeah, yeah. No, and with it being indefinite too, right? You just don't know
Yeah,
how long it will go on. Like really, when truth be told, this blanket fort, I had set it up because people were just figuring out about live streaming, in the very early days of the pandemic. You'd see people going online and doing live shows and playing live shows. And I have no technical prowess whatsoever. So I thought, well, I can't make a nice looking, nice sounding show. So I'll just make something fun instead. So I built
yeah,
this blanket fort, and my family and I had this little variety show that we would do every Thursday night. I thought, well, won't this be fun for the 3 or 4 weeks that we're in this pandemic, whatever that is? It just
yeah.
went on forever. Like months later, here we are in the blanket fort, like bringing the cat on as a guest of the variety show. And
Oh,
yeah,
how
it was
fun! Oh
really
man,
strange. But yeah, there have been some bright moments, I guess. You just had permission to do weird things because nothing else was normal. So
yeah,
that was nice. That
true,
suited me
yeah.
well.
That suits.
Yeah.
Oh, I would
Yeah.
go with the weird things. I was
Yeah.
thinking of what I was going to play for you, and I thought I don't know. I just picked up on the guitar picking actually, and I suppose in a sense like this, the lyric of this song is just about, I guess, just about enjoying life, um,
Yeah.
or remembering to notice it or something. I don't know. I won't
Mm.
think too much about it. That's why I wrote the song. um, oh, who what's Jerry said there? Jerry said spring cleaning for every visitor is definitely a thing. Um,
Oh,
I,
well,
we
I'll
can't. We've
tell
got
you
no
quick.
time for that.
Yeah, I'll tell you quick. The same friend who was in the rubber ball Olympic competition with me, we had a tidy up game when it was time to put things away, when we were kids. And it was just that the queen was coming. And we would run around like mad because the queen was coming. So we had to tidy everything up for the queen arriving. And now we still do that in our house.
Oh, cute.
It's just like
Yeah.
the code word. The queen is coming, when you see a car coming down the driveway.
Oh, I love
So
it.
yeah.
That's cool. I'm going to try that one. That might work.
Yes. If you respect the
um,
queen, I suppose.
I play this one. It's called I learned how to love from love songs.
Oh,
And I'll
sweet.
sing in a second. Um, okay. Oh, I can fix my hair. Hang on. Got to do the post headphones hair thing. I learned how to live from Dylan, and that's why I'm so shy. I learned how to love from love songs, but love songs only made me cry. I took all I could from learning, but that never fed my soul. I took all I could from heaven, but I only crave rock and roll. Oh, every day I'm changing, and every day I try. I'll keep myself from wasting every day before I die. I had to be brave by driving through some of the longest nights, and I had to pretend to be happy, though that never satisfied. I've seen city lights shine brightly, but I'd rather live by the sea, 'cause I've seen some shadows go quietly, and that's not what I want to be. Oh, every day I'm changing, and every day I try. myself from wasting every day before I die. Ooh, 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 I learned how to live from Dylan, and that's why I'm so shy. I learned how to love from love songs, but love songs only made me cry.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Thank
So
you.
sweet. Love songs. What was the music you listened to? We know that Jerry was listening to Supertramp in high school, but what was the music that got you going when you were first starting to play? What did you listen to?
I was quite little, and so I was listening to lots of what Mum and Dad played. So like Simon and Garfunkel, or
Yeah,
Dolly and Dolly, Kenny and Willie, and
yeah,
I loved. Oh, so that one of the first songs I learnt was "Blowing in the Wind" as well, and
yeah, yeah,
and the best of the Bee Gees, the 1960s record, which is like fully, it's really dark and melodic. It's really beautiful.
yeah.
Different to then that's the 60s when they were younger.
Right.
So yeah,
Huh.
yeah,
Oh, that's great. Yeah, like Kenny and Dolly, that Christmas album of theirs
yeah,
received heavy airplay in my household when I was a kid. My mom loved Kenny Rogers.
yeah. Me,
Big, big
I'm still
crush.
in love. Like, isn't it funny? Like you think of like who you kind of had crushes on, and I'm like, I was like tiny and I had a crush on Kenny.
It would have looked like Santa Claus. You know, when you're a kid.
It's like the fave. Like I accidentally told my friend the other day, and like, oh my gosh, you don't necessarily reveal this very often, but I told him that I love that song "Lady" by Kenny Rogers, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh man, and then I reckon that him and whoever, I think it's a co-write. It's either him or a co-write, and I reckon the two of them sat down and said, "Let's just write down everything ladies like to hear, and we'll just put it one line after the other."
wow. How
Listen to it
manipulative.
like it's just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's like, oh, kill me. So
So smart. That's our writing prompt. Now we're going to sit down and write everything we think men want to hear. Can you
yeah, yeah.
imagine
Let's
how
let's write one.
terrifying?
Let's write one. Oh my
Okay. All
gosh.
right, we're on it.
Okay.
We'll do it off screen.
What was your what was your your music that you listened to when you were that little too?
Yeah,
That
yeah. Well, like
inspired
in
yeah.
that same record collection, um, would have been like I just in this past summer I did this tribute show to the music of 1971 because all of that music is turning 50 years old, this past year. It's the golden anniversary of it. And I realized just how much of an impact that era of music had on me growing up. So like Elton John and the Carpenters were
Yeah.
very big. And like
Yes.
I
Yes.
still, some of the sounds that came out of that age to me, it's like the best sounding music of all time. Those big studio records. Loved it. And I only kind of got into sort of the folky side of things a bit later on. But back in the 90s, it would have been like Tori Amos. I don't know if you know
Mm.
of Tori Amos. She would have been
Yep.
someone I listened to at the time. And then the whole grunge thing came in high school. So, the Nirvana, Radiohead, and that kind of thing. But it goes back to those 70s sounds. I still think it's the most perfect sounding age of music
I
of all
know.
time. So,
Like it's
yeah.
funny when you play it to your kids and then they like with no reference point and no like pretty picture of someone or whatever, like just play them something, watching
Yeah.
how they take off. You're like,
Yeah.
see, it's just the song and the production, like and yeah, like it's got it's nothing to do with cool. It's just to do with oh yeah, that's good, and it's not
Right.
It's really good anyway.
Yeah.
It's funny showing it like that.
Yeah. Well, and we just watched the Beatles documentary in our house, which I don't know if you've seen it yet, but my son, who doesn't listen to a lot of music, kind of resists it a little bit. But even he got the Beatles bug from that. And last night said, I'm working on this thing on the piano, and it was The Long and Winding Road.
Oh yeah, mad! How good!
Like, okay,
Yes.
if we send him into the world with only that as his music
Yeah.
education, then he's doing okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Well, the way you introduced that last song, like just that simple, like taking stock and having a bit of perspective on your life and simple things, like for me in the past couple of years, like I've had a day job working as a funeral director for a funeral home, and that has provided me with a healthy dose of perspective, I think, just in terms of appreciating the goodness of a day and not sweating big things, or little things. So I don't write a lot of songs about working at the funeral home, but there's one that is pretty specific to that, and it will be on the record that I'm just finishing right now, which is very exciting. That'll come out next year. So yeah, so I'll play you this little tiny tune. It's called At Your Service. In the hard gray chairs of the doctor's office, me and a man with a terrible cough. It's 11 a.m., the doctor is late, nothing there to do but wait. He handed me a wrinkly business card, told me of his young years working hard, small engine repair, tractors and mowers, back in the days when the world moved slower. He had loved every minute of the simple life, a lot less simple since he lost his wife. She had died last June, her lungs full of cancer. He took all the tests, he was waiting for answers. His hands were shaking, he looked so nervous as he handed me the card that said, "At your service." At the funeral home when the paperwork came, I remembered the card and I remembered his name. The obituary short, no next of kin. We only had to print a few bulletins for the half-dozen people that had gathered there, fanning themselves in their hard gray chairs. Workers from the home where the old man lived, sympathy cards with nobody to give. The minister comforted in their loss, and everybody rose for the old rugged cross. We carried him down to where the grass was mown, his wife and his son's names carved in stone. We covered the grave with a shovel of dirt. I remembered the card with the words, "At your service."
Oh, there I am. Ah, that's beautiful. The yeah, I want to sit in it for a second. Um, Ruben just chimed in there and said he's just turned this into an impromptu work function. Aha.
Ah, excellent.
There's some clapping from Jerry.
Lovely. Jerry's
What was
very kind.
I'm not sure. Is that a secret code out there? I'm not sure of. Maybe it's like it might be secret code. Okay, there might be. This is the thing about the comment section is sometimes I don't get all the comments, so then I'm not entirely sure what's going on.
Oh, fun. Okay.
People like are replying to each other, and I'm not entirely sure if they are talking to me or
Right. Troubleshooting technical issues somewhere else.
or
Could
just
be
like
something. Yeah.
there's a couple of spam ones too that come on and they come and look at our live stream, and it's like, no, don't look at the live stream. Oh,
I was very curious. Red Betty. That did pique my curiosity, Steve. I thought it would slide.
I was like, what was that? You're writing crazy things on there as well.
Well, it was maybe some kind of Australian compliment or something. Like opposite of taggy.
That's Jerry put in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking before that, you know how you said you love the Carpenters, that we could do like we could do like how we do those long distance duo things. We could sing the Carpenters and harmony on each. That'd be mad.
Wonderful.
If you feel like it.
Yeah, I was just given. I have a good friend who has played on a few of my records, and he was in the 1971 band, and he just found a copy of like the Carpenters printed anthology, like the songbook, and just gave it to me. So yeah, I'm well equipped for that project, Melanie. You say the word. I want to ask
like a long distance Carpenter show.
Yeah. We have to rock, paper, scissors on which one is Karen and which one is Richard. But
yeah, you can just like keep swapping. Yes, keep swapping.
Yeah,
that's so fun. I remember. Yeah, I played. What is it? Why do birds suddenly appear?
Oh, close to you.
Close to you in the car to the girls. Once again, I just do it to watch their reaction.
Yeah.
But it's a fun song because you can like sing it to their, like you can sing it like a love song to them. I sit in the car and I hold their hand and I'm like, and I sing to them.
Oh, that's adorable. Lucky kiddos you have. Gosh.
They have, isn't it funny? They get that beautiful look of love in their eyes of, oh, I love you too, Mum.
Wow. Well, cherish it. I don't see a lot of those from my 17-year-old son at this point. I know it's there.
Yeah.
A bit daggy to show it, I suppose.
Yeah, Daggy. You got Daggy down pat now. That's awesome.
Thank you. I have to ask you, what are these keys peeking out behind you? Is that a keyboard or is it? You've got piano keys.
This is here. It's a Casio.
Yeah.
It's a Casio keyboard. Oh, I can't pick it up.
Oh yeah, don't strain yourself.
It weighs half a ton, but there's like a really cool 80s Casio hiding in there, like a really solid, massive one.
Excellent.
And further over there, there's a the little one that I had as a kid, but I think it got water damage and it doesn't work anymore. But I kind of just can't bring myself to get rid of it. I kind of want it to work. I don't know. I'll give it to a magical Casio repairing person.
Yeah. My first piano, well, there was a piano at my grandparents' house, and then my parents' house was right across the street. So I would hang out always at my grandparents' house because that's where the piano was. So my parents bought a keyboard hoping that I would spend more time at home. And it was a Casio keyboard. And I loved it too. It wasn't quite the same as the real piano, but I did love it. And then it moved on at some point, in my life when I left home. But then last year here in Windsor on the sidewalk was the exact same keyboard, and I brought it home, and it works. Couldn't believe it. It's the exact same one. Pastel colored buttons and things. So yeah.
Oh man, it's so cool. And I remember like it had this like device that you could scan, you had the music you could play, like read music, or you could
Yeah.
have these books that you scanned in and you'd scan them and then it would play. So that Kenny Rogers songs, you'd scan it in and it would just play and you'd sing along to the Casio playing
That's
you pretend that
fascinating.
you're
I
reading
didn't
music,
even
right?
know. I didn't know that technology existed now, let alone back then. That's
With
amazing.
a laser. You scan it with a laser. It was so exciting.
Kidding? You just blew my mind, Melanie. I need to go Google this after the show. Maybe I just added something to my Christmas list. But yeah.
Yeah, Casio scanner. If someone would have it too, because you probably could plug it into the back of your Casio, which would be mad if it still existed and
So
worked.
fun. Wow. You should have the crowd
bet-
bring their own sheet music alone to your gigs.
Yeah,
Do like
yeah,
a strange kind of karaoke.
and everyone brings scans their song in at the same time, and it goes do 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 with all the flashing lights.
Can't believe this. Okay. You've driven me to distraction. Banjo time. Exciting.
I was thinking of what to follow your tune with, and I don't know. I was just thinking, well, like so it's a newish one, so going
Yeah.
along with a new song, and also I wrote it about just thinking about how everybody was going last year and checking in on people. So a bit of that, are you all right? And that's a bit of a catchphrase now. Everyone says, "Are you okay?" But I was worried. You were one, you're checking in on yourself, and two, you're checking in on your mates and practicing running a river. But like you said, the river just kept going. It didn't. We didn't. It was an end. There was no end, and so I think my brain dried up a bit because you can't just keep writing waiting songs.
Right. So true.
So here's
Yeah.
one. It's just a little thing. And I have my lyrics here actually. So I'm going to
Yeah.
be a bit now I'm going to say dorky. I'm going to be a bit dorky and put my lyrics.
No.
I don't know if they'll stay there or put it there. Let's see if it falls down in the middle of the song. That'll be fun. All right. Sorry, I just. All right, ready, set. It's called "Tell Me." Actually, I don't know what it's called. I make up a name at the end of the song. Okay,
Oh
see you in a
yeah. We'll
second.
look in the comments.
Yeah.
It'll be called Red Betty.
Tell me what this song is called. All right. Set. Okay. Sorry, I swallowed my coffee backwards in my and okay. Tell me how you feel. Tell me why you cry. What is going on? What is in your life? Tell me about your day. Sounds like where you are. All your friends are gone. All that's left feels dark. And I will give you hope. And I will hear you tonight. And I will send you sweet, sweet dreams to dream. When the rivers, oh no, don't fall over the lyrics. When the rivers run, they don't even try, swelling round the roots, flowing with the tide. I know we're confused, I pull off to the side, but the rain will come, and we will be revived, and it will give us hope, and it will bring us to life, and it will this earth. Every day I learn, every day I heard. Easy's not the word, but simple is the way. We just have to stop trying to escape. We will bring home. We will plant it with life, and we'll grow strong, sweet, sweet fruit to eat. Tell me how you feel. Tell me why you cry. What is going on? What's in your life? Tell me about your day. Sounds like where you are. All your friends are gone. All that's left is stars. Oh, I remember what I called it now.
Yeah.
I called it All That's Left Are Stars.
Oh my word. That is utterly gorgeous, Melanie. Oh,
Oh,
are you
thank
going to
you.
record that song?
Yeah. And I mean, I should just record it like that and just leave it all really simple. Sort of like a
It's
little
so
poster to stick on
sweet.
people.
Oh,
Thank you.
that is just beautiful. Yeah. Oh, that is a keeper. So lovely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the tough thing with things like this. You want to just sit and kind of process what you just heard for a while.
Yeah. That's the thing is like
So
part
lovely.
like when you played something, I was like, okay, because like I think I want to think about what was said and like there's
Right.
or just sit on the sound for a little bit and
Yeah.
and so then
Yeah.
I don't really have like an instant response. Sometimes I
No.
don't have. Yeah, it's sort of more like how does that dance in my mind, and I'll come
Yeah.
up from
Oh,
there.
yeah. That's a lovely way to say it. Yeah, that song is just perfection. I love it.
Oh, thank
Wow.
you.
Um, this is so fun to not come in with a list or a plan and just kind of see where you wander. It's
It's
great.
funny. I mean, having a list is good. Like, I mean, I have to admit that because I like if I made a list, if we both made lists, it maybe would it would be cool, but also like I can write off what someone's list is, like they might already have their song set, but
Yeah.
still, it's also fun sometimes to hop
Yeah.
along, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, I always make a list and always abandon it, like
yeah,
almost
yes.
immediately.
Me too. I did have a list too as well, but I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, but like it's more
Gone.
it's fun to ride alongside of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about writing songs about waiting. And yeah, I don't have much use for waiting. I'm not very patient at all. I kind of, this chapter of my life that I'm in right now, pandemic notwithstanding, but it is a very, very happy one. Like having sort of discovered that I love writing songs so late in the game. And not planning to be a musician or anything like that, or a funeral director for that matter. Like I've just kind of wandered into these strange circumstances, and it has been such a joyful time for me. And I don't want to wait. I am. I was just saying to a friend yesterday, like, gosh, I hope I live long enough to do all these things that I want to do because with music, at least, it feels like every day is too short. Like I just get out of bed ready to do things and then I want to stay up late too. And so here is a song that makes a case for not waiting and talks about those days in my grandparents' basement about learning to play music. So it's called Windmill.
Beautiful.
played my granddad's old guitar when no one was around. I studied Chet and tried to get close to that gentle sound. The piano keys were company in a world of black and white, of Broadway shows and Billy Joel in the glow of basement light. But over time, the tunes and rhymes became my greatest joys. Felt I belonged in the world of songs, making stories and making noise. I get to spend time with my friends from all across the land, who helped me write way late at night and welcomed me into the band. When you find the thing that makes you sing and gets you out of bed, that takes away cares of the day and leaves a song instead. Give up the race, find dreams to chase, and follow where they lead. Don't waste your time waiting like a windmill for the breeze. Noah waited 40 days. It took me 40 years to find the courage and the words for the music in my ears. And no one's getting younger yet. It's not too late to start, to find the beat that moves your feet and lines up with your heart. When you find the thing that makes you sing and gets you out of bed, that takes away cares of the day and leaves a song instead. Give up the race, find dreams to chase, and follow where they lead. Don't waste your time waiting like a windmill for the breeze. Don't waste your time waiting like a windmill for the breeze. Yeah.
I have that double sound when the echoing woo applause at the end of the song, because it echoes a little bit, but it's it's you know I'm passing along from the audience.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, beautiful! It sounded. Oh man, I want to come to Canada. I'm like
Yeah.
I love um I love I love your music, and I love Canadian storytelling, and I don't know, just in my, I guess it's all in our imagination, the landscape, and I just, I think I want to come over.
Yeah, well, it's mutual. We should do an exchange together.
Yeah.
And
Mum and Dad
through
popped in there.
through Music Match, Global Music Match too. That was such a beautiful experience because it made the world feel small in a weird way. Like,
Yeah.
when you're just hanging out like this and it's so cozy with people on the opposite side of the world. Like it's so amazing that we're able to just share time and feel so close like this. Australia would have
Yes.
seemed like so far out of reach, but now thanks to the internet, like I know folks like
Yeah.
Jerry now in Australia, and some of
Yeah.
the musicians. Like I had a great fellow named Rich
Oh,
Davies.
isn't he like the most, like so full of energy and wonder? He's so interesting. I love him.
He's,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, he's wound up for sure. I
Yeah.
remember one of the ways that we would get to know each other, and the other musicians on our team. We did these interviews, like a Zoom session that would be like an hour long. And in the course of that one Zoom, like he was in 12 different places in his room. Like we were out on the deck, we were down in his basement, we were out in the car. We were like, it's just literally not sitting still. But yeah. I mean, there's such a wonderful, it seems like the folk community is so strong in Australia too. Like there are some brilliant players. Charm of Finches is a duo from
Yeah, they're
Australia
cracker.
that
Yeah,
got
yeah.
just wonderful. But yeah. So I definitely, we have a helpful hint. It's just shy of 17,000 kilometers between Nova Scotia and where you are. A
If
mere
I start
trifle.
walking now, I'll get there eventually.
Yeah, a chilly swim. Yeah. Yeah, no, I love everything I know so far about the music scene that you have in Australia there, and yeah, some good friends. But yeah, you'd have a time if you came here. I might not suggest coming in December, depending on how cold you like to be. But
Where did I go? I went to the Folk Alliance in Montreal. In what was that? In January or February? I think it was. It was
2019.
yeah.
Oh
Were
my
you there?
gosh, I was there. It's
Yeah.
the only one
Oh,
I've ever been to in person. Yeah, I wish we had known each other then.
yeah. I remember like I kind of got there and I didn't really know anybody. I knew Scott Cook
Yeah,
and Corin and so
sure.
I was like, can I just like hang around you guys? I felt like a kid, I just sort of like followed
Me
people
too.
around and then I found like a gang. I was in the food court underneath it and
Yeah.
I met a fella called Mikhail Laxton and Michael Laxton and oh no, my other friend. So we just made friends in the food court, and then we sort of encourage each other. Go and give your CD there. Go and give your CD there.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's the kind of community you want to be part of, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
I
Oh, that's amazing to think you were there too.
we're gonna have to wherever we need to go to the next one. That's next one we're allowed to go to, like actually in real life.
Yeah.
Maybe I guess
Not
maybe the
not
year
this one
after.
coming up maybe, but
Not this
maybe the
one.
next one.
Well,
2023. We have a
Jerry's gonna
date.
go for his COVID test. And go
Oh,
well. Enjoy the
oh,
poke up the nose.
yeah.
Be well.
Fingers crossed. Yeah,
Thanks,
stay
Jerry.
negative, Jerry.
Yeah, stay negative. Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
play I actually I think I've played this in a stream recently, but I just want to play it because I like it because it's happy and it's a new one as well, a newish one, and it's the other song I wrote on the banjo. So I just like the vibe. I'm going with the vibe. I'm going with the vibe of your
Yeah.
curtains behind
Oh,
your blanket room.
oh, that's great. That's great. Is this, do you
Yeah.
want to wrap us up, Mel? Or
Well,
I don't know
I'll
how.
play this one and then you close it up. You can.
Okay.
This is the last song after me is you, and we'll say good
Okay.
night to everybody or
Oh,
good morning, night to everybody, and send them on their way. Um,
yeah.
but I'll play this one's called Midnight Mermaid Blue.
Beautiful.
Cool. See you in a second. All right. Um, all right. Keep doing the hair thing. Sorry. Dark night, how do I honor you? Stars so bright, whisper moon. Drove home with the sky lit by jewels. sea green, variations on a theme. And I'm catching treasures of the deep, deep inside of me. Give me your light, I'll go fishing. What's beneath, what's unseen? From this perspective, everything shimmering, sunlight on my skin, shade too lingering, midnight mermaid blue, shining like a mirror on the earth. Change my point of view, teach me how to live this lovely life. Dark night, how do I honor you? Stars so bright, whisper moon, drove slowly, feeling that you know me. Sky still, weather calm, everything in your arms. Midnight mermaid blue, shining like a mirror on the earth. Change my point of view, teach me how to live this lovely life. Midnight mermaid blue, shining like a mirror on the earth. Change my point of view, teach me how to live this lovely life. Orion and the sea, listening to the waves crushing my dreams. Everywhere I go, learning how to live this lovely life.
Woo! Wonderful. Ah, what a gorgeous melody in that chorus, Melanie.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun to sing like live with the, because normally I'd be standing up and I can like really
Yeah.
push and play
Yeah.
with that. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
different sitting on the couch,
Yeah.
but still.
I had that feeling. I realized like I'm kind of tucked in like this,
Yes, yeah.
Just sunken
I'm actually
down.
like, I shouldn't really sit here, but it's just that I kind of liked the on the couch vibe, but
Yeah.
I used to put the streams on in the other corner of the room, and it was more sort of upright and
Right.
but I was just
Yeah.
going for a bit of a different
It's
scene.
cozy. No, clearly I like it. We have very complementary setups here.
Look, there is an outside over there. Look, there's an outside.
Oh, wow.
But this is there's lots of holes in my house, so I've got a blanket on the door to stop the cold from coming in.
A proper blanket fort, then. You've really, you're living the dream. Oh, gosh. Oh, well, I mean, wow. But your songs, they have so much hope. Like they're very, I don't know if that's a characteristic of the song. Maybe the rest of your songs are very dark and dreary. But yeah, there's some light in your songs. They're gorgeous. Yeah.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
You really should come play here in Nova Scotia. Yeah. We'd
Definitely.
find lots of stages for you. Yeah.
I'm gonna write a song. I'm gonna write a song, and it's called "I'm Coming to Nova Scotia."
Oh, that's excellent, because probably one of the most famous songs about Nova Scotia is called "Farewell to Nova Scotia."
Oh,
So you can
really?
make
Oh
an
my gosh.
excellent
Okay.
counterpoint to it, like "Look out, Nova Scotia."
I'm so coming. Okay, I'm just gonna write down. So I've got to Nova Scotia, and then I'll send you the song when I finish it.
Excellent. Okay,
And
we've got homework. That's great. I love it when you leave a show with homework. Well,
but
thank
it's
you.
fun because he said all these things like, oh sorry,
Oh, no,
well, he
carry
said all
on.
these things like Tori Amos and like a whole bunch of things that I just was like, oh man, like I'm
Yeah.
sort of my head's bursting with ideas after listening to you, and then also thinking of the things that we were talking about. I just sort of want to like sit in the car and play music and
Yeah. Dang.
just get inspiration from different places to what I have, recently, and just really suck it all up. So yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's what I think. Thank you so much.
Oh gosh, well, I was so thrilled when you invited me, because and there was this temptation. I don't know if you felt the same way, but like in one respect, like I kind of wanted to write back and forth and get to know each other, and and do the things. But there was also this feeling of how much fun it would be to just kind of get to know each other through this little show and through our songs and the stories that go with them. And it's worked out beautifully, because now I just want to be friends with you forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm like, am I gonna annoy you later? I'm gonna like, hey, can we just like hang out?
No, that's exactly what I want to do. Yeah, for
Yeah, cool.
sure. Exactly it. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, it's
cool.
beautiful. Thank you for this, for taking this leap and bringing me on board and getting up so early in the morning and making it all work with power outages and kids and all of that. That's brilliant. So thank you so much. It means a
No,
lot.
thank you.
All right. We will turn folks loose for their day in Australia and let people attend to whatever they're doing. Their supper dishes, I guess, here in Nova Scotia. So I'll play you a song that I hope the title is true. It's called "This Isn't Goodbye." And that's what we'll wrap up with. So thank you so much, Melanie. And thank you to everybody here who's been watching. The Horsnell family. Jerry's gone off for his COVID test. Fingers crossed for him. But yeah, it's so nice for people to choose to spend their time this way. That's really sweet. So yeah, thank you. It means a lot to us musicians down here in our basements. We walked to the end of a long country mile, where a house knows nobody had lived for a while. The windows are boarded, the grass growing high, all alone on a hill, leaning into the sky. We'll take turns at the piano, read books on the porch. Our old dogs will make marks when they scratch on the door. The trees by the river will shelter the wind, and the rooms will be drafty, and rain will get in, and it will all fall apart. But on the days that are dry, we'll pretend that this isn't goodbye. The same pink carnation is fading to brown on the same cafe table where we met in town, where we laughed and we talked and forgot about Eden, and the pleasures were simple but fresh with each greeting. So let's talk like we're making some plans for next Monday. Save a seat by the window, by the street in the sun, and maybe next time I'll think of what I want to tell you. I couldn't today, but it's just as well. I will wear that blue dress, you'll have that look in your eye, and we'll pretend that this isn't goodbye. Let's pretend that the next time's the first time we've met. No memories to fade and no tears to regret. Let's forget all the secrets that we've come to know, and we won't fall in love at hello. I saved all your letters from so long ago. I don't know who I thought that I'd want to show, 'cause I know they're a fiction, I know it's a fact, that the curtains are closing at the end of this act. Can we sing one more song? Can Can we write one more page? Can we savor this moment alone on the stage? 'Cause I know we're both players. We've been playing our parts, wiping tears on our sleeves where we've hidden our hearts. Say the lines one more time. I don't care if you lie, just pretend that this isn't goodbye. Walk me back down that road where tonight we can try to pretend that this isn't goodbye. Oh, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Oh.
Thanks for sending all your colourful and colourfulness to us today, and thanks everybody for tuning in. And we can write back to your messages later, and a few people will tune in watching the stream again later, and we can write back to you. So keep writing your messages and saying hello, and thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Anyways, we can wave goodbye, everybody.
Yeah,
Well,
goodbye.
actually,
Thank you.
I waited for them to like say something, and then I realized that they're on line. It's like, bye. Oh, it's right. It's us. Okay. See you later. Good night.
See you.